back to another video on my channel. Today we are going to be reviewing the second book in the inheritance cycle called Eldest. It has a really scary looking dragon on the cover. That dragon actually looks really scary. So this book is called Eldest by Christopher Paolini. I'm very sorry if I've got your name wrong. I got your last name wrong. It's book 2 in the inheritance cycle, which is the name of the entire series, which we can see all of the books here. And before we start with the book review, I'm just going to read the blurb so that you guys can get like a kind of understanding before I start talking about the book, about what the book's about. So the blurb reads as: darkness falls, despair abounds, evil reigns. Eragon and his dragon Saphira have just saved a rebel state from destruction by the forces of King Galbatorix, cruel ruler of the empire. Now Eragon must travel to Elsmera, land of the elves, for further training in magic and swordsmanship, the vital skills of the dragon rider. It is a journey of a lifetime, each day a press adventure, but chaos and betrayal plague him at every turn, and Eragon isn't sure whom he can trust. Meanwhile, his cousin Rorin must fight a new battle back home in Carverhall, one that puts Eragon in even graver danger. So that's the blurb, and most of it is probably like blah 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 and gibberish to people who have not the faintest idea of what's going on, as this is book 2. And so basically what's happened is, in this book, this is a world of fantasy and fortune, also no technological advancements. Most of the books that have a fantasy setting with dragons and elves and that kind of stuff don't actually have technology in them, which is interesting. Anyways, so in the book, fantasy setting, no technological advancements so far, and in the book there are dragons, and so the history of dragons is basically that dragons and elves used to fight each other until one day an elf called Eragon, not the Eragon who is the main character in the book, he's a human, but he gains the physical abilities of elves in the book later on. So the elf Eragon, who millions of years ago in the timeline of this book, he became the first dragon rider and rode his dragon, who was his best friend and almost. Like dragons, when you're a dragon rider, you can kind of talk to each other through minds. Like if you're a dragon rider, it's kind of like your dragon and you are one, and it's not you and your dragon, it's you are the dragon, or the dragon is you. It's kind of like that. And King Galbatorix is actually the last dragon rider, because he actually killed all of his fellow dragon riders, because originally he didn't want to do this, but what happened is that his original dragon died when he tried to kill some monsters as fun. His friends, their dragons and his dragon died, and he kind of went a bit mad, because apparently in the book it's described as irreparable pain, unbearable pain if you're a dragon rider and your dragon, or if you're the dragon and your rider dies, it's unbearable pain for the person who survives. So that's why most dragon riders who have outlived their dragons actually die soon after their dragons died, because it's so unbearable, the pain. And Galbatorix, he kind of went a bit mad. So he went back to the Council of Dragon Riders and he asked for another dragon, but it didn't work, and they saw that he was a bit cuckoo crazy and sentenced him to go back, literally just banished the dude outright. And what happens is that his friend, he managed to trick another dragon rider into giving him an egg, and it made that new dragon rider who betrayed the others for him his right-hand man. And that guy's name is Morzan, who we later find out in the book is actually Eragon's dad. So major craziness there. Morzan, the guy who literally betrayed everybody, every other dragon rider, is Eragon, the brand new dragon rider's dad, which kind of is a bit crazy. Also, dragon riders actually live a very long time. Like, they can be immortal, except for the fact that they can die from sword wounds and stuff like that. Like, they slowly age. So they age, but it's like super slow. Like, every 10 years is half a year's growth. So like every 20 years is 1 year, like that. So it will take actually very long for a dragon rider to die. But most human dragon riders at the age of 20 by the time they actually get their dragon. So like as soon as you get your dragon, you start to age slower. So yeah, and actually, so 100 years prior to when Eragon was born, all dragon riders died. And then when Eragon is 16 years old, he's hunting in a mythical place called the Spine, where creatures live. Crazy, dangerous, crazy creatures live in the Spine. So no other hunter in his village called Carverhall goes there. And his mom actually left him with his uncle to live. As soon as he was born, he started living with his uncle, and his mom disappeared. And basically, what happened is that he got brought up by his uncle, Gabo, and his uncle's son Warren is his like a brother to him. And in the book, while he's hunting the Spine, he finds a unique stone, which is actually Saphira, his dragon's egg, and once it hatches, people actually kill warriors of Galbatorix actually kill his uncle in trying to find the egg and him. They actually kill the egg in trying to find him and the dragon. They kill Gabo, who is his uncle, and then that leaves Eragon in the first book. So all of what I'm saying so far happened in the first book. I'll get to explain what happens in this book soon, because first, technically, you need to understand what happens in the first book to understand what happens in this book. So Eragon in the first book tries to find the people who did this to his uncle, and he he succeeds, but he doesn't kill them. And so he finally finds out what it means to be a dragon rider, meets up with his half-brother, who he doesn't know is his half-brother in the first book, and then everybody just happens. And then in this book is after he just defeated a major enemy, which is King Galbatorix's army, but like his army, and he just defeated his army. So this is like the aftermath of that battle. So in the battle, he destroyed a Sage Slayer, a Sage, who is a mythical creature who can control spirits. And this Sage's name, Durza. He kills the Sage. He gets a spellcaster, a curse. He can't move his back until going pain. So he can't move his back until that happens, which is sad because he's a rider and he needs to use his sword and go boom, boom, boom. And so he has to deal with that. So he decides to go to the elven village called Elsmera, which is where where, as planned, he was going to continue his journey. Except he didn't know how he was going to continue his training, because he can't use his back. But during his time at Elsmera, while he trains and learns and finds out that a very old man is actually also alive and he's also a dragon rider. But the problem is he actually got also injured, that if he fought, he would die instantly and would be a liability. So he never fought, but waited until the next dragon rider came so that he could train that dragon rider. And what happened is, while he was training, a festival happened, and during this festival, Saphira, his dragon, and Ladra, the other elf's dragon, the really old elf technically dragon, they both start singing, and the dragons of olden times go into Eragon during the festival and heal him of his injuries and his curse, and then he gets the physical abilities of an elf, because basically humans, even if they're really powerful magicians like Eragon, because of his bond with Saphira, his dragon, Eragon actually can't fight an elf because of his physical abilities are dwindled, where an elf's physical abilities, such as their strength and their speed, is much higher than a human's. And so does that. So Eragon can't fight his sword master, Vanden, I believe his name. It's kind of a tricky name to pronounce, actually. Most of the names in this book is kind of tricky to pronounce. And he can't afford to fight him. But the day after the festival, when he gets the physical abilities of an elf, he beats that man for the first time and gloats. He became so strong, bro. And so now I'm going to read a little bit from the book. So let's see, what's a good page to read? What I want to find is like, I want to find the bit where like he transforms. Oh, I see. Wait, this is actually really a much better bit. The old dragon kneaded the scree with his talons, crumbling it into gravel so that he was more comfortable. Layered within the enchantment, Queen Tamunora oversaw was the mechanism that allows a hatchling to be linked with his or her rider. When a dragon decides to give an egg to the rider, certain words are said over the egg, which I shall teach you later, that prevents the egg inside from hatching until it is brought into contact. Until it is brought into contact with the person with whom it decides to bond. As dragons can remain in their eggs indefinitely, time is of no concern, nor is the infant harmed. You yourself are an example of this, Saphira. So this is the old dragon, Galadriel, talking to Saphira about how he was the one why he was the one to get Saphira. Like Eragon asked, oh, why am I the one that got Saphira? Why, man? Is it like this? Is it like this or that or this? And it's actually like, so dragons actually got enchantment over their eggs so that they could not hatch until it brought into contact with the one they believed was most suitable from them. And then another one. Oh, this paragraph actually explains the bond between dragon and rider. The bond that forms between a rider and dragon is but an enhanced version of the bond that already exists between our races. The human elf becomes stronger and fairer, while some of the dragon's fiercer traits are tempered by a more reasoned outlook. So what it's saying is like, dragons are actually quite fierce, but the thing is, while they have a rider, they're not quite so fierce of their rider. And also that when a rider bonds with a dragon, they get the abilities of a dragon. For instance, they get the ferocious traits of speed, strength, and other qualities such as that. And so that's one paragraph from the Eldest. So this is actually not Saphira. Saphira is a blue colour. What this is another dragon. But that's enough about the Eldest. This is the book review of The Eldest by Christopher Paolini. If you want me to do a book review on the other two remaining books, Brisingler and Inhabitants, please press the like button down below. And if you like the videos that I did today, and if you like the videos I've done in the previous, please subscribe to my channel. Bye.